quick show of hands if you have a plan for how the next couple of years of your life are going to look. And if you're a student, or if you're the parent of a student, show of hands if it goes something like this. Get the grades, nail the extracurriculars, get into the right school, get a job in San Francisco, New York, London, or Dubai. I see you. Don't get me wrong, guys. I was there. And I'm here to tell you that your plans and your goals and your dreams for yourself are the most important thing you have. Cling to them with everything you have, and go after them with everything you have, because they're going to decide what every drop of sweat you put in over the next couple of years. And trust me, it's going to be worth it. So I graduated from Amman in 2009. I went to Yale, did a double major in econ and poli-sci. Afterwards, I worked in New York in investment banking, and then moved to Dubai in private equity. Afterwards, I moved into tech, I worked at Uber, and then I led Talabat in Jordan. After that, I started my own investment company, which then incubated our first AI business. I also sit on the board of the Amman Stock Exchange and the Bank of Jordan. And I'm here to tell you that every one of these milestones and every one of these accomplishments was hard-earned. Hilikit. I worked really, really hard. And honestly, each one felt more incredible than the next. But I've also picked up a few valuable lessons along the way. Some things I learned the hard way, and some things I really wish that someone could have told me when I was younger. So I'm here to share 5 truths that I learned the hard way. The first one, your finish line will keep moving, and that's the whole point. If I look back and I think about the different finish lines of my life, I graduated high school, the finish line was Yale. I graduated Yale, the finish line was New York. I went to New York in investment banking, the finish line was private equity. That was the next step. In finance, once I got there, I was like, my finish line just moved. I needed to have an impact. Joined Uber, had impact on thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. Once I was there, my finish line moved again. I wanted to move from impact to leadership. So I joined Talabat, managed a team of 200 people, a fleet of 18,000 drivers. And then when I got there, once again, my finish line moved. I wanted to move from leadership to ownership. I wanted to start my own company and something that I could put my name to. And so I'm here to tell you that that finish line is elusive. It's gonna keep moving. But that's what makes it beautiful. Because every time it moves, you're leveling up, you're growing up, you're redefining what's important to you, and you're just getting bigger and better at it as you do it. The second truth, that was a hard one, success and fulfillment are very different things. Don't chase the first at the expense of the second. I'm going to take you guys back 15 years at the risk of aging myself to when I was in my early 20s working in New York. I had a job in investment banking, a job that a lot of my friends I know could have killed for. We were invited to, like front row seats, NBA tickets, private showings of the new Batman movie that nobody had seen before, midnight parties at the Met. And looking back, that all looked incredible. But the reality of it is that I felt really unfulfilled. And if I look back and I think about why that was, I think about the milestones. New Year's, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, my friend's birthday, my birthday was all spent with my very close friend, Microsoft Excel. And I remember having a conversation with my dad who said, Hala, this feels like you've reached Disneyland. It feels like you're in Disneyland, but you're stuck in the kitchen washing the dishes. And so I had to take a step back and think, is this success? Have I made it now? It didn't feel like it. And so I took a step back and redefined what success meant for me. And I decided that I didn't want to choose between success and fulfillment. I wanted to find an outcome where I could have both. And so I traded my 2 a.m. nights with Excel to 9 p.m. nights with Excel I moved to a job in private equity in Abu Dhabi. But what that trade-off also meant was I had 5 a.m. mornings on the water wakeboarding with my friends. I had weekends with my parents. I had dinners, I had birthdays. I was fulfilled, I was feeding my soul, but still working really hard in the process. And so what I'm trying to say is, you can find success and fulfillment at the same time. Just be brave enough to demand both. Truth number 3, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Didn't make this quote up, it's a famous quote from Henry Ford, but it's something that's resonated with me a lot over the past 10 to 15 years. I'm going to take you guys back to when I first joined Talabat. I joined Talabat to a room full of skeptics. I was the first woman to try to do the job. I was the third person to try to be managing director in 3 years. I joined an unhappy team with an unhappy restaurant base, unhappy customers, unhappy drivers. It was really, really tough. And I remember one conversation that I was having with the CEO at the time, and we were talking about the Jordan problem. How do we solve this Jordan problem? The market is losing money, hadn't grown in years, team is leaving, restaurants are leaving. How do we solve this problem? And I remember sitting in his office at the time, and I couldn't really tell you why I knew it, but I knew that I was going to turn this around. I could feel it. And so I said it. I said, watch what we're going to do. You see this market that's struggling today? We're going to grow it 10 times. He was like, I'll believe it when I see it. But we did it. Through restaurant and driver strikes, through COVID, through bailing drivers out of jail, I swear, through lawsuits against me personally, and 2 pregnancies. I have my daughter Aisha in the crowd here. That 10 times that I promised, we grew it 30 times. We made it profitable. It became the #1 downloaded app in the country. Jordan became the fastest growing market for its mother company, Delivery Hero, globally. And the most important part, the team was happy, customers were happy, restaurants were happy, and drivers were making a real living. And so my message to you here is, if you decide it's impossible, your mind is going to keep looking for excuses. But if you decide it's possible, your mind is going to keep looking for solutions. You just need to decide which one you want. Truth number 4, and this was a tough pill for me to swallow. Don't let perfection be the enemy of progress. And that brings me to launching Mina Devs. So we launched Mina Devs because we noticed that there was a supply-demand problem when it comes to engineering services globally. The West, Silicon Valley, were starving for high-quality engineers, but supply was scarce and expensive. Meanwhile, in a market like Jordan, you have 40% of graduates graduating in engineering, only 10% of those actually working in engineering. So we were sitting in the middle of a crazy supply-demand problem, and we thought, okay, we're going to go after this problem with everything we have. And so we started with a team of 4, 2 founders, cramped in a very small room, not enough chairs. Hayat, you can attest to this. And we had 1 client and really just making it up as we go. Do you know how to do this? Yes. Guys, we need to figure out how to do this. We did that almost every day. And I remember this one night, it was at the end of the day, one of the engineers came up to me and he said, Hala, I was running the code on the compiler. Of course, I had no idea what those words meant at the time. I was running the code on the compiler and it crashed and it deleted my desktop. Here's my laptop, fix it. And I'm sitting there like, not only do I not know how to get your desktop back, my mind can't even fathom what it means that you deleted it in the first place. And I remember over the next 2 years, so many of these instances happened over and over and over again. But every single time, I was like, Hala, just do it. Just ask the stupid question. Ask the stupid question. Don't be afraid of how you sound, because with every stupid question, I got a little bit less stupid. And over time, I actually started to get the hang of things. And it genuinely, at the time, felt like we were building the plane while we were flying. And it was incredible with so many learnings. And I'll tell you what we didn't do. We didn't sit in meetings over-analyzing, running spreadsheets, running numbers. What we did do was start. We launched, we hired the team, we put ourselves in front of clients. And what that meant at the same time was that we failed. We made tons of mistakes, but with every failure, we failed forward, we bounced back, we learned from it, and then never made the same mistake again. Fast forward to today, Mina Devs has around 150 engineers in the ecosystem. We've trained 250,000 hours of some of the best and most complex AI models that have come to the market in the past 2 years. We've delivered over 75 projects to global clients. And guys, we're doing this from right here. So the truth of the matter is, you're never going to be 100% ready. But progress eats perfect for breakfast. Don't be afraid to be a beginner. And the last truth that I want to leave you guys with is the internet has democratized access. AI has democratized intelligence. I'm talking to you guys here. The rest is up to you. When I was growing up, I was told that success came within certain geographies. You had to be New York, San Francisco, London, Dubai. Truth of the matter is, in 2026, that's no longer the case. You can build anything, anywhere. And we're seeing it happen. We're seeing multi-million-dollar businesses come out of Beirut, come out of Riyadh, come out of Doha, come out of Amman. Guys, we built Mina Devs in Amman. We've been at the frontier of AI, have trained some of the best models that have come to the market in the past 2 years, straight out of Amman, half an hour from here. And that doesn't mean it's not difficult. We've taken massive risks. We've failed. We've had to prove ourselves over and over again. Being told no 9 times and still coming back the 10th time saying, please just give us a chance to prove ourselves. And very small challenges like the time difference, 7 a.m. calls, 2 a.m. calls. We had to do all of that. But we're doing it. And so can you. And so what I'm trying to say is, stop worrying about the perfect plan. Start before you're ready. Ask the stupid questions, and remember that that finish line is going to keep moving. So just worry less about it and worry about the mark that you actually leave on it. Thank you, guys.